Yo, what is up guys? And today we're going to be talking about if you guys should be pulling for Kawerik and Ran on their banners, as well as if their artifacts Black Hand of the Goddess and also Sword of Winter Shadow is worth purchasing with your Powder of Knowledge. So starting right off guys, let's start with Kawerik here. So Kawerik's banner, same with Ran, they're going to be running from the 16th of February until the 23rd, so you only have a week to pull for them. Looking at Kawerik's skills very briefly, you're going to see his S3 is an AoE attack that has defense penetration that will scale with his own speed. This is going to be very good if you use him as an opening unit because of the fact that you can build him very fast and not lose out on a lot of damage because of that speed scaling, and also you can actually disrupt the enemy team very easily AoE by silencing for one turn. This also does a lot of damage. Next we have his S2 guys. It is a single target attack that will strip 2 buffs before increasing skill cooldowns by 1 turn twice. He will also grant himself stealth and increase speed for 2 turns, and his damage will also scale with the target speed. So you can see his S3 will scale with his own speed, and his S2 will scale with the target speed. And you can actually soulburn this if you put him on Toggal's Ancient Book to actually always land that increased skill cooldown. This makes him a very good unit to bring into fast units if you can guarantee that Kawerik takes the first turn, because he can reset the skill cooldowns on a lot of openers, making them pretty much useless until their cooldowns come back up. Now the biggest problem with Kawerik though is that his base speed isn't as high as the meta openers, so you're not going to really be able to consistently outspeed very fast units. For example, Ran, another unit that's running right now, will be able to consistently outspeed Kawerik before he can even get his turn. So you don't really want to take him into super fast units because of the fact that, yeah, he has a very hard time guaranteeing that first turn without the help of speed imprints and stuff like that. Next we have his S1 guys, single target attack with a chance to silence, also scales with his own speed. So you can see that his kit is pretty much going to be relying on him taking the first turn, being very fast, very good for aggressive players, and try to disrupt the enemy team with either his S2 or even his S3. His base speed isn't that high, although it is pretty high for a mage here. You can see it's at 119. The fastest openers in the game that can do what Kawerik does similarly is going to be, like Assassin Sid, Assassin Coley, and those units can go up to like 128 speed. Looking at Assassin Sid here, he fits a very similar role to Kawerik, as you're going to see. You can see, but his base speed goes up to 128. He has built-in crit hit chance from his Awakenings and also from his Memory Imprint, which is very easy to get to SSS because he's a 4-star. You're going to be able to build him at a very high speed without sacrificing too much damage, where Kawerik, if you want to build him very fast, not only do you need even better speed gear because his base speed is low, but you also are going to need even better damage gear as well because, like I said, he doesn't have that critical hit chance imprint and stuff like that. So Assassin Sid, very similar. He can disrupt the enemy team very easily or their opener with his S3 silencing and CR pushing. He also has built-in survivability with that evasion chance, similar to how Kawerik gets that stealth. You're also going to see that this will also give you the ability to remove 20 souls from this from the opponent, which is a very strong ability because souls are extremely powerful. So Assassin Sid honestly is kind of like a better Kawerik, but if you want to have another pocket pick, then Kawerik is a decent option if you're very aggressive. But for the most part, not that great. He is decent at what he does if he can take the first turn, but there's just better options you want to invest into. For that reason, I would definitely recommend against pulling him unless you're super late game and you're just looking for more speed aggressive options. Now for his artifact guys, Black Hand of the Goddess. Mage exclusive, you're going to see that this will give you critical hit chance and critical hit damage, but every time you actually attack, you'll actually lose some of that stat. So basically at max level, it'll be 24% crit hit chance and damage, which is insane even for just having a passive effect from an artifact. And every time you attack, it goes down to 18%, which is still very good. This is going to be mostly not really used on that many units. The only time you would actually put this on a unit is if you have like a certain gear set for them, and you are just like a few like critical hit chance points off or critical hit damage points off, and you want to change their gear around a little bit to kind of mix and match and hit that 100% easily with this artifact. Now, this artifact is kind of like a band-aid for a lot of builds, meaning that if you are struggling to hit critical hit chance at 100%, then you can actually slap this onto a unit and use it on that unit. This might be good on units like Top Model Luluka and stuff like that, units that usually win within the first few turns so you don't lose too much of that critical hit chance and critical hit damage. For the most part though, I would say this is pretty niche, so I wouldn't really recommend pulling for it or buying it from the shop, so easy skip on both Kawerik and his artifact. And now we have Ran, the simp for a mid, which is a new unit coming out very soon. So Ran, guys, very powerful unit still. One of the best openers for cleave, if not the best. His S3 is an AoE attack that will strip buffs, inflict stigma, and also decrease defense and give himself skill nullifier. And this will also do more damage to faster units, and it will do more damage if he is faster. You can also soul burn this to ignore effect resist. This does a lot of damage. If you have your Rand built on very high speed, like 300 plus, on like 100% crit chance and like 220% crit damage only, this will still hit very, very hard. Also, pair that with the fact that he has his S2, which will give everyone an immunity buff and also give himself an attack buff. While giving him an extra turn, you're actually going to be able to do a lot of damage. Some people like to run him on Silver Rain so that you can actually give another unit an attack buff with this. Some people like to run him on Villager's Artifact or like a Portrait build or some damage artifact in general because it just makes him hit harder. S1 guys, single target attack that penetrates defense. Also scales with Rand's speed. This hits pretty hard as well. So Rand guys, if you are a cleave player, you have to pull for him. This guy is so good. If you pair him with like a Summertime Assaria who can boost up your team after Rand S3s, he is super, super powerful. He can also give an attack buff to your Summertime Assaria with his S2 with the artifact known as Silver Rain, which is a 4-star artifact, very easy to get. Extremely powerful guys. If you are into cleaving, definitely pull for him. If not, you don't really have to pull for him, but he's still very good if you like to speed contest. Next, we have his artifact, Sword of Winter Shadow. You're going to see it's an attack buff, and you're also going to see after you use a non-attack skill, you have a 100% chance at max level to remove 15 souls from the opponent. This artifact is pretty cheesy, not that great for the most part. This artifact is only at 100% chance to remove souls if you have this at plus 30, so to even make this work consistently, you will need 6 copies, so definitely not worth buying in my opinion. I think this is an artifact where if you start to play the game a lot and you get this artifact a lot of times, over time, right, you have to get a lot of copies, then you can actually use this in a fun build, but for the most part, I think this is not really worth purchasing with your Powder of Knowledge. Now keep in mind, we might have collabs coming out soon, so you guys might want to actually just save on both banners, but like I said, if you are a cleaver, you definitely want to get Rand. He's so strong. He's, like I said, one of the best cleavers as an opener in the game. Besides that though, you guys can safely skip on these banners and skip on these artifacts. You won't really miss out on much. Definitely, we probably have a lot of units coming out soon that you're definitely going to want to save for. That being said guys, I hope this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.